Day 42 at the Widow's Watch cliffside. The last expedition team fled after just 3 days. Understandable, the lore on Banshees is quite specific. Approach means death. To hear the wail is to join the dead by dawn. Yet, here I am, on my 6th consecutive night of observation. Remarkably, still among the living. I've tracked the source of this wailing to this crumbling tower. Temperature dropping rapidly, 12 degrees in the last hour. The Academy textbooks call this the deathly chill, a harbinger of Banshee's lethal presence. There she is. But observe, she hasn't approached a single living creature in all my nights of study. Not the nesting gulls, not the foxes that hunt below, and certainly not me. Welcome to Field Notes, documenting the extraordinary. I'm Professor Thaddeous Danger Fieldstone of the Royal Academy of Monstrous Biology, and today we observe what may be the most misunderstood magical being in all the realms, the common cliff banshee, or, as I've taxonomically classified her, Lamentia spectralis maritima. The traditional texts are quite adamant. Banshees are vengeful spirits, harbingers of doom. They scream to mock imminent death. Archmage Winterton's Compendium of Deadly Apparitions states, "No creature more surely predicts one's demise than the wailing woman of the mists." A terrifying prospect, yet my observations suggest something altogether different. Note the semi-corporeal manifestation, not truly ghost, not truly fae, somewhere delightfully in between. The standard texts describe her appearance as horrifying beyond mortal comprehension, yet there's an undeniable grace to her movements, a rhythm that suggests not malice, but something I've yet to identify. What we're witnessing here contradicts centuries of documented lore. This particular banshee has maintained a consistent nightly routine for, according to the local records I've painstakingly pieced together, approximately 342 years. Yet, in all that time, no deaths correlate with her appearances. Quite the opposite. On 3 occasions, the ships reportedly changed course after hearing her wail, avoiding the treacherous rocks below. The standard field manual insists banshees are nomadic, drawn to scenes of tragedy and despair, yet this one, whom I've come to call Melodia, defies that entirely. She maintains a strict territory with clear boundaries centered on this ruined lighthouse. Over the past 2 weeks, I've mapped something remarkable. She manifests precisely 13 minutes after sunset. Always at the tower's highest remaining level, she circles the tower 3 times, then descends to the cliff's edge every night without deviation. This isn't a haunting, it's a ritual. Most fascinatingly, her territory expands 327 yards from the tower in all directions, except eastward, where it stretches nearly a mile out over the sea. The pattern suggests something I've never expected in a banshee, an enduring emotional tether, not just to this place, but perhaps to someone still out there. Right on schedule. Now, listen carefully. Dreadmage Sorotin's Banshee, the voice of doom, describes this sound as the very essence of terror, designed solely to paralyze victims before their inevitable demise. But compare that to what we're actually hearing. I've transcribed Melodia's wail over 14 consecutive nights. No researcher has attempted this before, understandably, given the risks. But look here, rises and falls, repeating sections, a melodic structure with variation like verses and a chorus. This isn't random noise. This isn't a scream of anguish. It bears the hallmarks of a song, of memory, of communication. The accepted doctrine holds that banshees are solitary, incapable of interaction even with their own kind, but what I've found appends 2 centuries of spectral classification. These luminous spheres appear after Melodia departs. I call them echo pearls, crystallized sound, not unlike the harmonic residue of certain deep-water siren. At first, I believed them to be messages, but perhaps they are echoes traces left behind by one soul so full of grief it rippled outward, catching in stone, salt, and time. Not warnings, but memory, preserved like amber around an ancient tear. Wait, there's something unprecedented. She's emerged earlier than usual, and she's carrying something. She's placing them deliberately. A child's boat, carved from driftwood, a shell necklace, a weathered cloth, and sheet music. No text I've read suggests banshees retain physical memory, let alone possessions. This is something else. By all the forgotten lore, that's not a wail, that's a song. I've studied this tune before. Sleep Upon the Waves, a coastal lullaby sung by sailors' wives. This is the melody she's been forming one note at a time. Oh, she's seen me. She's not recoiling. She's approaching. I believe she wishes to share something. When our hands met, I received something. Not a voice, not words, but flood of feeling, of memory, grief, love, and loss. Her name was Lyra Stormwind. She kept this lighthouse. She raised her son here. And on the night of a great storm, the light failed, and his ship never made it home. Every night since, she's returned, not to haunt, but to sing. The field will resist this. They'll call it a projection, sentimentality, but banshees must be reclassified, not as death omens, but as mourners, keepers of vigil, echoes of love too loud to fade. Just before she vanished, she said my name. I don't know how she could have known it, but somehow it didn't feel so strange. Wonder insists the glow will fade by morning. I rather hope it doesn't. The first researcher to bear the mark of a peaceful banshee contact? Now that's a proper field note. Field note entry complete.